new age 3-and-D guy with the Thompson twin. So, and you look at what they gave up, yes, the 10th pick, but I think if I'm the Houston Rockets, I achieved everything I wanted to achieve in this trade, and then I acquired a guy that can get you 25 on 2 or 3 dribbles, and he's a guy that can finish games, and he's been through it. So if I'm the Houston Rockets, I got to be extremely happy.
Shannon, when I hear what Smitty said and watching the Houston Rockets in this postseason, a guy that can finish games, that seemed like the missing piece for them.
It sure did. There's 2 things I like about this trade is you're adding a stone cold killer in KD, and 2, I believe in Ime. Right, I've known Ime a long time since we're on the Knicks, Portland State guy. His teams compete every single year from, and this is no disrespect to what the Houston Rockets were. He came in there and shut that stuff down and made that team #2 in the West. And now you add a KD. To me, they need 1 or 2 more things. A couple vets on the bench and some height and size. Right, you think about how big the West is, but Sanguini's not that tall. KD is not that big. So, but remember, you still got to go through Joker. You still got to go through Minnesota. You still got to go through San Antonio and some of these other teams. Dallas is big. For me, these are great steps moving forward, but KD has to understand that this is not his team. This is him to help them go to that next level.
I actually love the move for Houston. I mean, when you look at Ime, when you look at KD, these are 2 of my favorite people. So, and Shannon, as you talked about with Ime, I was the one who told him, hey, look, basketball in the NBA may not be your thing, but you need to go into coaching, right? Because I thought he would be a great coach. He and KD getting together in in Houston, let me tell you what that does, okay? Houston now becomes one of the bigger teams in the West. KD can go back to his natural position, which is small forward, where he dominates at. And then they signed Steven Adams. So you got your big people lined up. Now they'll go out and they'll find maybe another guard or so to come off the bench, another vet. I really like what they got, but now they got championship experience over there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, KD as a champion, right?
Van Vliet.
And then you got Van Vliet. I mean, these 2 guys, you know, have been champions in the NBA. And then you have a championship coach, even though he didn't win in Boston, but he's coached in the NBA Finals. So when you look at what Houston has put together, they got all the pieces. They got everything to make it right. I love the deal, but I also love it for KD, and I also love it for Ime. Again, these are 2 of my favorite people.
You know, from the Phoenix side of it, obviously you still have Devin Booker, who's coming into his prime, who's one of the best basketball players in this league. No doubt about that, right, Smitty? But now Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, doesn't seem like those pieces fit perfectly around him. Do you imagine that the Suns will be making more moves before this NBA draft?
Well, I hope so. I mean, when you start talking about Bradley Beal, you know, a good player, great player, and is rightfully so. Jalen Green is young, a good player, and I'm a huge fan of Devin Booker. I think if you look at this team, if it stays the same, it's not great for Devin Booker. But I think if you're the Phoenix Suns, you had to make a deal. Hopefully somebody else is still on the way moving out, because Devin Booker, what he's done in this league, in my opinion, Isaiah Channing, he's given everything he's had to that organization. He's been through coaches, he's been through general managers, he's been through owners. He deserves, again, to have a chance. And I like that he hasn't really outwardly complained, but I think he deserves to have another chance.
And Zeke, when we look at the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant there, it's like, okay, they're going after a championship. Is that still the case for Phoenix post Kevin Durant trade?
You can say that, but when you look at the team that's presently constructed as it is today, and changes could be made over the summer, but presently constructed today, you have to say that this team probably is not ready to compete in the West for a championship. Now, things will change, and I echo what Steve said. You know, we love Devin Booker, but we know his father better, Melvin, right? I mean, that's our generation. So Melvin is like, okay, and Devin is his son. And so we always look out and we all show love for the Booker family, right? But we hope that there's more to come, because as you asked me the question, is this team presently constructed to win the championship? I think all of us would have to say no, However,
Hell to the no.
but moving forward, hopefully there's more moves.
Yeah, well, we have a lot more moves to be made on this show as we get you ready for the first Game 7 in the NBA.
Even have the opportunity to play in a game like this is, you know, I've only watched that game twice, and I watched it with my family once and by myself, and I cried both times, just going through those emotions of like being down 5 at halftime and how intense that was and how many hours and how tired everybody was. So this is a great experience, and hopefully none of these guys that are playing tonight take it for granted.
You know, Zeke, you understand what it's like to play in a Game 7 on the road in the NBA Finals, 1988. Of course, we remember your Game 6 where you had the 25 points in one quarter. But tell us about that, which is just amazing to say. But tell us about the difference between every other playoff game and a Game 7 on the road in the Finals.
The preparation is different. Not only is it different, but you also come to that game, as Channing said, understanding that there really is no tomorrow, right? And you leaving everything out on the floor. You forget your injuries, you forget your soreness, you forget your bad games, and everything is about the next 4 quarters and how you're going to perform. And, you know, I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I honestly think this may be a classic because these two teams are so evenly matched, and there's so much on the line, and the preparation has been fantastic.
What do you make of Zeke's prediction there?
Well, I'm with him. I think the reason why is we've saw it so far. I love the strategy of both teams. You know, the Pacers got to get up and turn you over. But I think OKC, they play so well here. They do have the MVP, but the Pacers are not scared of this team. So I'm looking forward to both these teams going at it. Coaching will matter in this Game 7.
Well, Zeke, your predictions have gone pretty good in these NBA Finals. Before Game 1, you also made a prediction. Let's go back to that. Oh, I guess we're not doing it.
Okay, all right, okay.
Do it live, Zeke.
No.
Go back to what you said.
No, when the series started, right, what I said is I predicted the Pacers would win in 6. And the reason why I said that is because I thought defensively they matched OKC. And everything that we were saying about OKC defensively, I thought Indiana had risen to that level. And the numbers are backing me up just slightly. Indiana's been the better rebounding team. They've gotten to the line more times. They've turned OKC over more times. So all those first that we listed for OKC, in this series, that's Indiana right now. And I thought their style of play was so different and so unique. It's an old passing game style of play where 8 people can really get 20 points. You're not really relying on just one person. And OKC's defense is built for the new era of basketball. Indiana is playing an old era of basketball. So consequently,